In 1922, prior to his coronation, Haile Selassie made it known to the world that he is not a descendant of Solomon and Sheba. And if you was to read every Bible you have, you will see that Sheba is supposed to be here in the latter years. And if you read the wisdom of Solomon, you will see that Solomon will be here when God changed the elements. Hence, during the end of Revelation. Therefore, they are alive today. So let's read. After many days, you will be given attention in the final part of the years. It doesn't say final part of the year. On to the mountains of Israel. Ezekiel 38. After many days, thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land upon the mountains of Israel. Another Bible, Ezekiel 38. After many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years upon the mountains of Israel, and there you will find Sheba. There you will find Sheba. There you will find, oh, where'd she go? Where'd she go? Sheba. So the Bible clearly states Sheba is supposed to be here in the latter years, or in the final part of the years, on to the mountains of Israel. So what do you see right here? Are you not as the children of Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? In other words, before 1948, Israel represents Ethiopia. And if you see it, read it clearly. Are you not as the sons of Ethiopia to me, O sons of Israel? In other words, an Israelite represents Ethiopia. So what did the king of Ethiopia said when he was a prince? In 1922, in Charles Ray's 1927 book, In the Country of the Blue Nile, included a 13-page appendix from Tafari, which was written in 1922. And his list begins in 4530 BC. And what does his list contains? The goal of the 1922 Regner list was to showcase the immense longevity of the Ethiopian monarchy, which is contrary to the Kebra Negus. The list does list precise days spanning 6,300 years, and it numbered 313 different monarchs, including 98 kings and queens before Menelik. So according to the Kebra Negus, Menelik was the first king of Ethiopia. So watch the 98th. You notice Makeda is in blue. Why? Because that's according to the Kebra Negus. Selassie either has Saba or Kandake. There's no Sheba, there's no Makeda. So who's the 99th king of Ethiopia? According to Selassie, you will see Dawit the First, who they refer to as Menelik the First. In other words, the Kebra Negus is folklore. So the first summary of the contents of the Kebra Negus was published by Bruce in 1813. Yet still they want to say it's a 14th century text. No, it was published in 1813 by a Scottish guy named James Bruce. And what does it say about the Kebra Negus? Modern scholarly opinion is that there is no historical evidence supporting the legends relating to the claimed origins of the Solomonic dynasty in the Kebra Negus, which makes sense considering Sheba is not supposed to be here until the latter years. In other words, during Revelation. So the Kebra Negus is known folklore. That's why Selassie said this.
Since his restoration in 1941, the Lion of Judah has carried out a program of modernization and of political and social reform, and has begun to westernize the 2,000-year-old Coptic Christian Ethiopia. He created a strong, centralized monarchy. The country, with its 22 million people, revolves around his personal rule.
You are descended, Your Imperial Majesty, from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba.
The Canadian reporter is telling him he's a descendant of Solomon and Sheba, because that's according to the Kebra Negus. So instead of Selassie just saying, yes, I am, which he's been speaking English during the interview, he literally said it's just our story. He didn't say it's our history. He says our story. Listen carefully.
This is just our story, ancient story. The Queen of Sheba, she go to visit Solomon.
So he's basically repeating the story of the Kebra Negus. So he said this is just our story. He never once said this is our history, or our history says this, or my great-great-grandfather Solomon and my great. No. The Bible clearly states Sheba is supposed to be here in the latter years. That's why he say our story say.
King Solomon, she met one son. She returned back to her country. Our story says since